The battle for party purity has succeeded in producing party chaos for the GOP. In our third story on the countdown, the division grows deeper in the Republican Party over whether to support the Republican candidate or the Conservative Party candidate in what should have been an obscure special election easy win for Republicans. Even the Republican leader in the House calls the whole thing a mess. You may recall that Dede Skozafava is the Republican candidate for New York's 23rd district. She is fiscally conservative and has the endorsement of the NRA. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich has, of course, already been quite vocal in his support. And today, RNC Chairman Michael Steele endorsed the Republican candidate, which would not normally be news. But the third-party entry into the race, Conservative Party candidate Doug Hoffman, continues to get endorsements from national Republican figures because the Republican candidate just isn't conservative enough for them. The list of Hoffman backers now includes Alaska blogger Sarah Palin, Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty, former Senator, sometimes actor, and failed presidential candidate Fred Thompson, former NRCC Chair Tom Cole, Senator Jim DeMint, Congressman Dana Rohrabacher of California, and Congressman Todd Tiahrt of Kansas, along with former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum and former House Majority Leader Dick Armey. And where does that leave the Republican leader in the House, John Boehner?
Well, there's no question that New York 23 is a bit of a mess. Listen, I'm the Republican leader in the House. The 7 Republican county chairmen up in upstate New York decided that Dede Skozafava ought to be the candidate. And so they named her as the candidate.
It should be noted that the 23rd District in its current form has never, repeat, never been held by a Democrat. Its most recent representative, Republican John McHugh, resigned to accept the post of Army Secretary from President Barack Obama, thus setting off a chain reaction that might well result in the Republican and Conservative Party candidates splitting just enough votes to elect the possibly otherwise unelectable Democrat Bill Owens. Let's bring in Chicago Tribune editorial board member and a Pulitzer Prize-winning syndicated columnist Clarence Page. Thanks for joining us tonight, Clarence.
Thank you for having me, Lawrence. Great to see you.
Clarence, I doubt you've been to the 23rd, stretching all the way up to the Canadian border. I've been up there, especially when I used to work with Senator Moynihan, who had to campaign up there. But right. What's going on there now? John Boehner has correctly called a mess. But it does not seem to be an accident. Did Barack Obama, or more likely Rahm Emanuel, know that this was going to happen when they offered a Republican congressman a job in the administration?
Well, Lawrence, if I was Rahm Emanuel, I would certainly claim credit for it because it sure looks like it, you know. I mean, as you well know, this was Rahm Emanuel's strategy that he used to great effect in the 06 races, going around finding vulnerable districts where Democrats might have a shot. This is one where you normally wouldn't say that because I think it's 1871, I think, Republicans have held this district or, you know, under some similar configuration. But here you have a case where Dede Skozafava was the sort of Republican that Democrats have to love because she has really ignited the conservative base up there, so that Doug Hoffman now, from what I hear from the Democrats here in Washington watching that race, it's a dead heat now between Hoffman and the Democratic candidate as Skozafava is in third place behind this tie, and this was something more than I think Obama or Rahm Emanuel could have expected.
Now, how much does this civil war in the Republican Party over, you know, one congressional seat like this reflect what we might be seeing next year in the midterms?
Well, first of all, you're seeing what I call the Tea Party effect, and I guess I'm not the first person to call it that, but certainly you're seeing an aroused base behind the Tea Party movement and folks who have gotten excited behind Glenn Beck and various other people whipping up the bushes in anger over the moderates who have not been delivering for them as far as they're concerned, and anger over Barack Obama's win when they see Dede Scozzafava as someone who is a half-stepper, that she, while she has the NRA endorsement, she also endorses card checks. She's got SEIU support. She supported the stimulus package. These are things that, well, also gay rights. I mean, these are things that the values voters on the right and the Club for Growth, a very good example, things they don't like. Club for Growth, according to Politico, ran a phony ad on Scozzafava's behalf, ostensibly talking about how progressive she is, mainly designed to stir up the right in anger at her for being so progressive.
Now, Clarence, if the Democrats do grab this seat, what will be the lesson for the Republican Party? To drop these ideological purity tests, or to push further in the direction of ideological purity and conservatism, and they'll make the argument that we lost it because we didn't go conservative enough?
Well, this is the debate going on inside of the Republican and conservative circles right now. I said in my blog somewhat facetiously that conservatives would do just fine if Republicans wouldn't keep getting in the way. But that is the attitude of a lot of people on the conservative wing. When you've got Tim Pawlenty up in Minnesota, a pragmatic a Republican who is thinking about running for president, and he is on the side of Hoffman against Newt Gingrich, who is on the side of Scozzafava and party loyalty, then you can see something of a preview of what's going to happen next year.
Clarence Page, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for the Chicago Tribune, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Lawrence.